TGIF. And this happens to be the last news review for the week.
Yes.
Well, you're welcome to the news review today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, anywhere you're watching us from the universe. How are you? How was your day been? Some will be at work. How is everything with you? Hope you're good. Yeah, it is another news edition. It's another edition of news review today, being Friday, and it happens to be the last one for the week. And as you know, I am the host, and I am Apako Jennifer, and with me in the studio, I have
Ahmed Abbas Olatunji
Sidon J, aka Ovoyadba.
Who did check now?
What?
You want check?
I know fit, I beg. Okay, just as you know, as we do on news review, we bring to you the news headlines that made it to the top newspapers every day. We talk about it, and you know we don't do that alone. We talk about it here, and you do yours in the comment section. So on today's newspaper on Punch, we have Zamfara Assembly confirms 18 nominees as commissioners. Women World Cup. History as African trial its last 16. Subsidy protest. Federal government, Labour talks collapse. NLC begins strike August 14. Why did they cancel it in the first place? Customs to launch compliance traders platform. On Vanguard, Niger's military junta cuts ties with Nigeria, France, US. No work, no pay. Whatever happens next, don't blame us. Doctors tell Nigerians. Iron Mike Tyson to be in Nago's corner for free fight. Then the Nation, Ganduje pledges reform, fairness to reposition APC. NNPCL NIPCO to deploy 35 CNG stations. On the Sun, that is the last but not the least, NEMA distributes relief materials to over 25,000 vulnerable persons in Taraba. Osun Guba, 2026 journey has begun, says APC. Federal government activates no work, no pay policy on striking resident doctors. Tinubu promises to look into marginalization of Okun Yoruba in Kogi. Those are the headlines we have on today's newspapers. We'll be going on a short commercial break now, then when we go back, we'll talk more about it. Stay with us and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're welcome back from that short commercial break. That was Nokpa, and that is actually our sponsor. Yes. Well, we have Nokpa mixture, Nokpa about cool, Nokpa about flusher, about tonic, anything about. But guess what? The good news there is, for the fact that we are calling it Nokpa about, doesn't mean it is bitter. Yes. It is not. You can actually take it as a refreshment. Mm-hmm. Yes, you can.
The blend is okay.
Yes, you just snack on something, then just cool it off with Nokpa. And funny enough, it's about cool. So cool off your snack with Nokpa. And if you've not gotten yours, just like I and Sidon J always say, you are sleeping on a bicycle.
Yeah, not so.
So back to today's business. The first headline here we have subsidy protest. Federal government, Labour talks collapse. NLC begins strike August 14. Why did they call it off in the first place?
They had a meeting with the president, and it was stipulated that they should, scrap the protest. But I think the federal government are not trying to meet up with what they demanded for, which is maybe they should put something on, or maybe they should re-strategize on how to go about the removal of the subsidy, and that is what the laborers are actually fighting for, and that is not even the reason why they wanted to go on with the strike. Outside the fuel subsidy of a thing, a lot has been going on, people complaining about their salary increment, and the president didn't even say anything about that. Even I heard the president actually said something that any doctor that is not ready to work is not going to be paid. You understand? Yes. So different things are coming up. So I think they should go on that strike. Let's see what the strike can do.
But the thing is, what I'm saying is, yes, they already they gave the federal government ultimatum before they commenced with the strike. Then, since the government has not called them or has not reached their demands during the ultimatum, then they shouldn't have called it off, because mere seeing the protests, I was thinking at least this should last for a week.
You don't get it. The first protest was just like a preamble. You understand? Like they've not go deep into the protest. Are you getting that? It's just a warning protest. But when they saw that this thing is not working the way we planned, okay, let's take it to another level. You understand? I even there was a news that come up yesterday about Lagos State traffic and vehicle management or something that MC Oluomo was talking on an interview that nobody should join from the transport agency like the Keke Napep, the Okada rider, they shouldn't join the protest. So I think this is going to go a long way to be sincere. So let's see what will come up August 14. That's what they said. Well, let's see what will come up.
Let's look forward to August 14. It's just around the corner.
Yeah.
Barely 24 hours after meeting with President Bola Tinubu, where an agreement was reached to call off the protest, the rapprochement between the organized labor and the federal government appeared to have collapsed as the unions on Thursday night vowed to embark on a nationwide strike from August 14 if their leaders were summoned to contempt of court orders. The Nigeria Labour Congress hinged its decisions on the contempt of court application filed by the Ministry of Justice against the labor leaders on Wednesday. It threatened down tools should the federal government fails to withdraw the lawsuit accusing the labor leadership of disobeying court orders. The NLC president Joe Ajaero announced the decision on Thursday night after the union's National Executive Council meeting, which was held in Abuja. I even heard they were sued to court for going against court orders.
Yeah, it is normal because I just say like it's the work of the president. Because why will you sue Labour Congress? Why?
Why? This thing they are doing is just it's a peaceful protest, yes, but they are fighting. Okay, they are not fighting, yeah, but they are asking for their rights.
No, there is one between the fight as meaning. They are actually fighting indirectly. Are you getting it? They are fighting for what they want. Are you getting it? But the fact that they are not listening to the law or they don't abide the law is nobody's business, because even the law does not stop anybody from protesting peacefully.
So I see no reason they should be charged to court.
You see, I will keep saying it. We need to re-amend our constitution. They need to scrap that one and
so rewrite. We still talked about this in yesterday.
I'm telling you, because law cannot just say you should not do this. Just imagine, I saw a news of someone that actually, what's the name of this woman, Eniola Badmus, that sued that girl that was talking that called her a pimp online, and she was being arraigned to court, and after the whole thing they said she should go to 3 years imprisonment or pay 150,000
just for calling her a pimp.
No, normally she's supposed to be in prison for more than 3 years, because why will you just come out and be saying rubbish and say because they paid you to do that?
I understand, but she's supposed to be jailed. You
understand
that. But for that, she's serving a long time jail term, right? Yes. But someone will now do what surpasses that and be bailed.
No, it's not like, see, the law has his own act, you understand? So you can't just say they are the one that knows the consequences and what you are going to face when you do something according to law. So when it comes to you trying to judge someone according to what they do, you cannot do that. You are not a judge. You didn't read law. So that's why I said they need to sit down. I think all those laws that they've made before, they are old laws. They should try and there are a lot of
bring in new
you understand?
Laws.
There are a lot of new crime that is coming up. I know. Back then when they did that law, there's nothing like Yahoo.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing like prostitution or anything pimp, you understand? Or even online, this thing is not rampant then, you understand? So they need to look at some things and let them amend it. Okay, let's take our president for example. Something is going on in Niger. You being the chairperson or chairman of the ECOWAS, you are putting telling them that if they didn't stop and restore back the democracy in that country, you give them 7 days in another country. You understand? Even there was a what was it called? This country, Zimbabwe. Is it Zimbabwe? Maybe president of Zimbabwe or something said something this morning on news. I was very surprised what the man said. He said Tinubu should just ECOWAS should know what they are going to say on it, that if there is a country that cannot control themselves, they should not come and say anything on ECOWAS. You understand? Wow. So he's just trying to throw words to our president, which is President Tinubu. That why are you dragging? Yes. Normal, we know what is going on in Niger. We know what they are facing. We know how they are feeling. It's because of all the things they are getting from us as a country, like the electricity, the fuel, different kind of things that is going on between the two countries on a low that we don't know before. It was Tinubu that actually made us to know that we get 70% of electricity in Niger Republic was being brought in.
150 megawatts.
You understand? So all those things, it is what is paying them in Niger normally. So, but it is not if there's a Yoruba adage that says Oribibe Kologun before. You are not supposed to now tell them that you give them 7 days ultimatum. If they don't restore back democracy, you are going to face them with war. Who wants to fight the war? And when I checked the news, they said they are recruiting NYSC members. See, anytime I tell
good luck to you.
I'm telling you, because they said they are going to recruit the core members. They could go and
face. Imagine. Who will release their children to go to the war front?
Unless you want to collect Alawi.
Oh, your Alawi.
You collect 33K and still collect 1,200 for food allowance.
Excuse you. 33,000 is not compared to my life.
Don't be smart, but then let's wait and see, because I really want them to go on the strike. Let's see what we call.
They should go.
Yes,
August 14th.
Just go on the strike so that maybe our president, your strike will make him, shift back from the Niger Republic. So because everything that is on his head.
We have so much in our country. We have so much happening in our country.
IPOB, we never finish with them. IPOB,
we are still dealing with that.
Okay, Boko Haram, we are not hearing anything from Boko Haram yet. But then the Biafras, they've started their own. Sit at home.
We've not ended that. We've not ended all these happenings in Nigeria. Now you are choking mouths in Niger.
If you see, I saw a video that all these Niger soldiers, armies, they uploaded on TikTok. If you see the way they were using knife to cut their necks, it's not cut like they are letting us know that more will start the war. More will see.
What do we have in Nigeria?
We have something. Forget it.
What do we have?
We have fine girls. When they come, we just put girls in Nigeria.
To distract them.
Yes, in Nigeria, we are the only country that did all this surgery, plastic surgery. You understand what I'm talking about? We just put them to the front. All those soldiers will just,
wow, God. Fine girls.
That's the only thing
we have.
We don't
because aside that, we don't have anything.
We have mouths too.
We have mouths.
When it comes to facing the war,
social media, we can drag on social media, but to fight, I'm out. The next one here, NEMA distributes relief materials to over 25,000 vulnerable persons in Taraba. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has commenced the distribution of relief materials to 25,698 victims of 22 flood disaster and vulnerable persons in Taraba State. Director General of NEMA, Alhaji Mustafa Habib, made the declaration at the flagging of the distribution of food and non-food items delivered to persons affected by 2022 flood disaster and vulnerable persons in Jalingo on Friday. The DG said the gesture was under the Special National Economic and Livelihood Emergency Intervention aimed at bringing succor to the victims and vulnerable persons in Nigeria. Habib, represented by Malam Saidu Inusa, leader of the delegation and supervisor for the distribution of the food items, that the relief materials were food and non-food commodities, as the first components, which includes rice, beans, sorghum, maggi, salt and vegetable oil, blankets, mats, mosquito nets, and detergents. Detergents was even shared. For what? Because you need to wash.
When you were reading this content, I was just thinking about something. There's nothing that Nigeria does that they won't see their own.
Nothing.
And to be candid, this thing that they are sharing, make sure you are checking the expiry date.
No, not even that. I feel like going to Taraba to interview the people, so I will know. Fine, it was really given to 25,000 people.
Okay.
Because in Nigeria, you see everything like this.
But they won't share it.
But I won't be surprised. No, not that they won't share it. 25,000, right? I wouldn't be surprised if only 1,500 got the package.
Even if getting the package, it's normal. But then, what are they getting in the package? You know, there's one between you feeling hungry and you eating what is going to last in the hospital.
They are getting rice.
As I said, you should check the expiry date. I know what I'm saying.
No,
all the rice they gave us during palliative corona time.
Yeah, that's true. true.
That's
That's
right.
true.
If you are hungry, you cannot cook it. Oh. You have to start cooking it from yesterday.
Maybe
you want to eat
maybe
it
you
today.
want to eat it around 10. Just start cooking it
Because
around
you will
8.
pick, as if you are picking beans.
You must pick.
You want
Yes,
to eat
that's
rice.
true.
I don't know the reason why Nigerians, our government are so wicked to the extent of giving us something that will still be harmful.
That will stress you.
I don't know what we've done. So, well, I know
Nigeria.
that everything will come to normal, I believe.
Well, that's your problem. It listed the livelihood items, which in the second category to include sewing and grinding machines, and the third category, which was farm inputs, including water pump for dry season farmers, sprayers, liquid fertilizers, herbicides, and seedlings. That's good. If it will be done, that's good. At least a person given sewing or grinding machine will make money from it.
I think people that are really enjoying this Nigeria is the northern part.
No, yes, now
because
of course.
if anything want to start, if they want to start sharing anything, or something,
they'll start from the north.
Just imagine that time that they wanted to. There was a cashless policy that they wanted to start sharing the new notes.
It was the north.
It was from the north they started,
and
they
we
were
read
taking
it.
it to their doorstep.
I read it. I think about 2 weeks ago. It was something was shared. I think in Zamfara also. That is shared. I think it was 25,000 too.
Okay.
In Zamfara, we read it together here now.
I don't know the reason why.
Everything starts from the north.
Why can't you start from Lagos so that I can get my own on time?
I don't know. At least we are here.
Since Nigeria has been sharing something, the only thing that was entitled to is what? That SMS of COVID-19. I'm the first person to receive that SMS in my house every morning.
I got it every day. Not morning alone. You get his money there. Even there was a time my mom was frustrated. Mom was like, I wish I can reply. Mom was like, I wish I can reply these people. Did you see me outside?
I'm telling you. They must send you
me outside.
And at the end of the day, the amount of the money they said they used to send those messages, if you hear the amount.
Billion. Just for Naira message.
Don't worry, we'll get to heaven one day. All of
we all go to heaven.
You do the account.
Well, federal government activates no work, no pay policy on striking resident doctors. Federal Ministry of Health has activated the no work, no pay policy of on-striking resident doctors under the umbrella of National Association of Resident Doctors. Director of Hospital Services, Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Andrew Noam, in a letter to the heads of hospitals, directed that they open and maintain an attendance register for all resident doctors willing to work. Dr. Noah in the letter informed them that various conciliatory meetings by the Federal Ministry of Health, Federal Ministry of Labour and Employment with government stakeholders, secretaries to the government of the Federation, and the National Assembly proved abortive in getting NERD to call off their indefinite strike action. He said, I am directed to inform you that the Federal Ministry of Health has instituted the policy of no work, no pay against the striking resident doctors in line with circular reference number 5859-8S8.1 to 182 dated 22 June 2016. I am further directed to request you to maintain an attendance register of all residents willing to work and finish the ministry of such names on a monthly basis. Meanwhile, the leadership of the resident doctor said they have been expecting the letter and they would respond in due time. Well, they've responded.
To the doctors, I think they need to know that aside the government, intruding what they are doing, it's a good thing for them to fight for their rights.
It is.
Wait, let's see it in this way. You see, there are some personnel that when you are working in some organization, you should know that there are some things that you don't need to do, because if you do it, it will affect a lot of things. You guys are caregivers.
They don't need to go on strike.
I'm telling you, fine. They know that no matter what, government will listen to them. You understand? There is a way you can do things instead of you.
But they've been on it for a while.
Wait, instead of you, there are a lot of measures you can take to tackle government. It's not like you leaving people to die. People that you cannot bring them back to life. They are on sick bed and they need your attention. They need your your support. They need you to be with them. So
many patients were discharged.
You understand? So they're not supposed to leave, go on strike and leave work. It's not done. Adebin is a policeman now. They can go. We don't say now.
Everybody will be happy.
No. We know that it is God that is securing us before.
God has always been the
So
security.
it's not police. Are you getting it now? The only work police do in Nigeria today.
But I've never heard them go on strike.
Why we
Police
say
officers.
they are seeing money every day now. 100 naira after they are
100 naira on the highway.
I'm telling you, they started from 20 naira, upgrading 50 naira, from 50 naira upgrading to very soon now they dollars don't rise now. They'll start collecting 200 naira. 500. So that's not even what we are talking. Let's talk about these doctors. So now I love what the government have done. This is just a very good thing because you know that fine Nigeria is getting money back, you know, from the subsidy. And Tinubu said it when he was reading his statement on that day that he spoke to Nigerians.
I think
he said 1 trillion naira was being gotten from the subsidy removal. And I want to tell these doctors, if care is not taken, some of them will lose their job. Sure. We have a lot of doctors out there that wants to work. So if you feel like because they didn't pay you on time, you want to leave work, you are not supposed to leave. If their parent is in that hospital, can they leave them? That's just a very simple question. And it's because of them, these doctors, they have to add more to the tuition fee of medical students. Because once they get their certificate, they will travel, they will jack back. So if you are reading course in Nigeria, and you are reading medicine in Nigeria, you cannot serve Nigerians with what you have learned, what you have gained as a Nigerian. You are not going abroad to go and work. Are you getting it now? So you understand. So what the government has done on this, that no pay, no work, no pay, is a very good thing. To be sincere, that's what I can say.
Well, yeah, it is. But then they need to be treated right.
Hey, they've said it, they've shouted, they protested too. Are you getting it now? But the solution to it is not what they are doing. They should not leave work.
Well, according to what I read earlier, they said they would respond in due time. Well, they've responded. I have their response here. No work, no pay. Whatever happens next, don't blame us. Doctors tell Nigerians. The National Association of Resident Doctors NERD on Friday flagged the circular issued by the Federal Ministry of Health to implement the no work, no pay policy on their striking members, saying that the doctors should not be blamed for any likely escalation of the situation. President of NERD, Dr. Emeka Oji, while reacting to the circular in a chat with Vanguard, described the action of the ministry as unfortunate. In a swift reaction, President of NERD, Dr. Oji, told Vanguard, "It is unfortunate that the Ministry of Health has been shifting blame and keeps saying they don't have a minister yet, which is why they cannot handle such issues. They now have the will and the capacity of implementing imputative measures. I can tell you that this letter has aggravated things and nobody should blame NERD for any escalation that might likely happen from next week." It could be recalled that NERD embarked on an indefinite strike on July 26 following the expiration of a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to meet its demands. Their demands include the implementation of the one-on-one replacement policy for healthcare workers, the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria to discontinue the downgrading of the membership certificates issued by the West African Postgraduate Medical and Surgical College. There is also the immediate payments of all salary areas, the implementation of the consolidated medical salary structure, a new hazard allowance, and the domestication of the Medical Residency Training Act, among others. So they've responded now. But then, just like you've said earlier, they don't need to go on strike. They need to consider the lives of their patients.
Exactly.
But at the same time, Yoruba still say, Inu didun lo moriya.
Normal.
They need to be compensated. Some of them's lives depends on this salary.
Normal. But
how can you work for a whole 30 days and not get paid?
Wait, now listen. This is Nigeria. This is not the first time they are facing this kind of thing. And they know that if they shout, Nigeria will still listen. If you are thinking that once you ask for something and it will be done instantly in Nigeria, that's a big lie. Are you getting it now? So if they are trying to say, because they are important to the community, they are important to the people in the like in the hospital, they have to attend to them. And if they don't work, if people start dying, they will call them back, say lie. To be sincere, because you can't tell me that federal government did not know that they need to pay you guys. They are doing things.
But why are they delaying salaries?
They will do it, they will pay. But that leaving the patient at the hospital, why not coming to work, is not the best thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Just imagine that girl that died in this thing, in the elevator. Just imagine 40 minutes, they didn't see help. Till they didn't even have blood in the hospital. So I think it is not only the government that is the fault of Nigerians. We are one of the problems that we have in this country. You are working in an hospital, in an organization, a state hospital to be precise, and you cannot, as the head, or let me say as a doctor in that hospital, you cannot ask from the air like, okay, we don't have blood again in this department, or we don't have this again in this. Okay, look at it now. You as a worker there, you died because there is no blood in the hospital. What if it is someone that is not even working on a normal, ordinary patient? That's how the person will die too. You understand? So this is just a lesson, or this is just a measure that they need to look into, because we can't just be like this and be saying, government. What are we doing to the government? How are we dealing with the government? So this thing is just that you guys should consider, don't look at the government this time around. Let us look at ourselves.
All we need to do is to work hand in hand.
Very simple. Let the government
Fine, the government cannot be blamed for everything. We need to blame ourselves too for some things. But then the government should also do the right thing.
They should provide on time. But if
they should also do the right thing.
If it's not being done in the right time, they should consider the fact that people's life is at risk. You understand? So let us just work hand in hand.
It is not affecting the government, because ordinary headache, they're out of the country.
They go abroad, no time.
Ordinary they're out of the country, so they are not being affected.
That's normal for Nigeria.
So I should say they don't even care about the citizens.
Yeah,
they don't.
Normal. That's normal.
Because if you know, if I do this thing, then it will affect me. You will not do it. That is just it.
Yeah.
We should all work together to make Nigeria a better and conducive place for us to live in. Well,
I pray they listen.
I pray so too. And is it not Nigerians?
Yes, no.
Well, it starts with you and I. Let's start first.
You know me, I will always say my own. See, when it comes to Nigerian matter, me, I don't have problems. I don't have any problem with Nigeria. Because,
nobody has.
Yes, no.
I don't.
We have people that have problem with Nigeria, so. I'm telling you, as a Nigerian, there are people that have problem with this country. They will tell you they cannot do that right thing that they want them to do, and they will still keep complaining. Just imagine when rain is falling, they will tell all these yaloja, all these people, don't put dirt inside the river, when it's raining. Don't put it in the drainage. That is what they will start doing again. And you are talking about government. Are you getting it now? So some people
are just born adamant. They were just born adamant.
They will tell you don't do justice jungle justice, rather, that you should, anytime you see something that you don't understand, call the police.
That jungle justice.
You understand? So a lot of things has been happening that even the government are tired of the citizens. So we have to be talking to ourselves.
Even we the citizens are tired of ourselves.
You understand? So let us just leave that side, because I'm always ready to do the right thing for my country, because I know that if I do it well and someone else saw it that this guy did it well, so the person too will emulate what I did, and everybody will be doing well. That's just it. So
let's all emulate Sidon J.
Yeah, I'm a patriotic citizen of Nigeria. So
I will urge you to emulate him.
Yeah, if you
do the right thing, like
call me Naija boy.
Naija boy, yeah.
That's what's up.
So I think you should add Nigeria to your name.
Yes, Sidon J, aka Idon Naija boy.
Nigeria Idon, the only Idon in Nigeria. That's the end of our news review today. Before you see news review again on your screen, that'll be next week Monday. We are going now, but there are lots of interesting shows are still coming up to your screen. Don't go anywhere, stay with us. But we are going now.
All right. Enjoy your weekend and don't fight.